tank farm in Nigeria, the Petrolex project, which includes a refinery in its plan. And again, just last month, we commissioned a new Nestle factory and a Biloxi biscuit factory, all here in Ogun State. These are only a few of the industrial facilities that have opened up here in recent years. In the past 18 months, the state has also made giant leaps in agriculture and advanced boldly to take on the whole value chain, especially with rice, Mitros rice, from farm to market. Reforms championed by the state government have touched everything from soft infrastructure, land acquisition, to construction permits, business registration, to hard infrastructure, an ambitious program of road building, road upgrades across the state. And I'm sure that all of us who came here by whatever route today would have seen all of those developments. And the future looks even more promising. Last year, I flagged off here construction of a new standard gauge railway line from Lagos that will run from the port complex in Lagos through Ogun State to Ibadan. One of the terminal sections of a network that will run well over 1,000 kilometers across the country to Kano. We expect that line will be completed by the end of the year. But ahead of that, we are creating an inland terminal at the railway station at Ilugun this is on the Lagos-Kano narrow gauge railroad, not the standard gauge now. Now, Ilugun, for those who do not know, is between Ogun and Oyo states, about 150 kilometers from Apapa. The GE-led consortium, through the APM terminal, is providing that investment, and they expect that the project will take about 10 weeks. So we'll be able to move freight from Apapa port to Ilugun, and importers will take their freight from there, and the same also for exporters. This will decongest the Apapa port and, of course, bring more opportunities to this axis. The Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, one of the busiest highways in the country, and at the moment, the primary land connection between Lagos and the rest of Nigeria, is another infrastructure priority of the federal government. And we expect, now that the contractors are back to site, we expect that that project should move on very quickly. These two transport projects will further boost Ogun's special standing as Nigeria's gateway state, and no doubt attract even greater investment and migration to the state. Ogun's status as the home to the largest concentration of tertiary institutions in Nigeria is also a pointer to the size of its potential for youth-driven innovation. One of the practical ways by which the state government can help unleash this potential is in implementing policies that will attract private sector investment into the rollout of broadband across the state. And you can be sure that high-speed internet will be a game-changing proposition for Ogun State's technology ambitions. And many of the young men and women in the tertiary institutions will benefit greatly from improved broadband infrastructure. I must say that it's unlikely that any administration since the birth of this state has developed infrastructure as rapidly and as sure-footedly as the Amosun administration. The governor and his team certainly deserve the loudest commendation. So I'm here today partly to encourage Governor Amosu and his administration, and to say to them that there's no room to relent in the efforts to fast-track the growth and development of our state. The successes recorded so far by your mission to rebuild Ogun State ought to inspire even more ambitious reforms now and into the future. The reward for hard work, as they say, is more work. It's heartwarming to note that Ogun State has made clear its aspiration to move from 5th place on Nigeria's Doing Business Index for states to the 1st place. On our part, the federal government, we will continue to do everything within our power to support every state in Nigeria to reach its full economic potential. It is gladdening to note that Ogun has been consistently enthusiastic in its reception of our hand of cooperation. It will be hard. In recent history, I must say that it will be difficult to point to a government that has been more supportive of the development of the ambitions of states as has the Buhari administration. We've been especially attentive and responsive to their needs and wishes, and have treated the state governments, regardless of partisan affiliation, as partners and not minions. A significant so far in terms of support, including the Paris Club refunds, which of course the states were owed, we have spent so far 1.91 trillion naira on support to the various states of the Federation of Nigeria. A significant number of our programs and policies have been designed with the states in mind. Our Anchor Borrowers program that provides cheap credit and input to smallholder farmers, the President's fertilizer initiative that has revived the domestic fertilizer blending industry and delivered cheaper fertilizer to our farmers, our social investment program, where we're now feeding about 7 million school children in public primary schools in 21 states, the budget support facility, which has enabled states better cope with the shocks rising from the drop in the price of crude oil, and also the low levels of production for many months, especially in 2016. Let me, in closing, highlight something about what is without doubt one of Ogun State's greatest assets, its proximity to both Lagos State and the Republic of Benin. I am pleased to note that the state government has already begun to prepare for a future in which it will be the norm for people to live in Abeokuta or anywhere in Ogun State and commute daily to Lagos for work. I would even go a step further to say that it should not be difficult to foresee a time when Ogun State will be home to business districts that rival those in Lagos or anywhere else in the world, and when some of Nigeria's busiest air and inland ports will be found right here. Already Ogun State is the industrial hub of the nation, but it must also be the business hub. It must also be the business district of preference, the business district of choice for everyone who wants to do business in Nigeria. It feels almost inevitable that as Lagos grows in the most feasible direction, which of course is upwards, that Ogun State is going to be a very important rival indeed. This proximity between both states and the fact that they will significantly affect each other for good or for ill in the years to come ought to be the starting point for more deliberate economic cooperation between the two states. A few weeks ago, I attended the first joint economic summit between Lagos and Kano states. There is no reason why there should not be a similar collaboration between Lagos and Ogun State for mutual benefit. The closeness to Benin Republic means that Ogun is a potential trade gateway to West Africa and the rest of the continent. This is one potential that must be exploited. And so we must see a sub-regional meeting, a sub-regional summit between Lagos, Benin Republic, and Ogun State. This is the kind of collaboration and cooperation that will take us very quickly to the destinations that we have set for ourselves. The words of the Ogun State anthem, a persuasive call to labor, to service, offer perhaps a fitting end to this address. Ọmọ Ogun, iṣẹ́ yá, iṣẹ́ pọ̀ fún wa o láti ṣe, iṣẹ́ sì pọ̀ fún wa láti ṣe o, iṣẹ́ pọ̀ púpọ̀ fún wa láti ṣe. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellencies, can we please give our Vice President another round of applause? Our next session will be on technology and economic transformation. We're going to be looking at leveraging ICT for manpower and technological advancement, the Ogun State Hub. But this will happen immediately after lunch. So we'll look forward to having you back here in 30 minutes, and we will continue with technology and economic transformation. Thank you very much.
You've been watching the